Before praying, let us read Genesis 16:13. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me, for she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. There are moments in life when you feel invisible. You may be surrounded by people, yet still feel unnoticed. You may give your time, your energy, and your care, yet feel unrecognized and forgotten. This kind of loneliness is quiet, but deeply painful. It is not always about being physically alone, but about feeling unseen in the places that matter most. In those moments, your heart may begin to wonder if anyone truly understands, if anyone truly sees what you are carrying inside. In this passage, Hagar finds herself in a place of deep distress and isolation. She has been overlooked, mistreated, and left in a situation where she feels alone and without direction. Yet in that very place, God meets her, not in a grand or distant way, but personally and directly. And in response, she gives him a name, the God who sees me. This is not just a statement, it is a realization that even in her lowest moment, she was not invisible. God sees you in the same way. He does not overlook your pain, your effort, or your silent struggles. He sees the things that others may miss, the quiet tears, the hidden worries, and the strength it takes for you to keep going. Nothing about your life is unnoticed by him. Even when it feels like the world has passed you by, you are still fully seen by God. When you feel forgotten, it is easy to believe that your presence does not matter. You may begin to question your worth or wonder if your life is making any difference. But your value is not determined by how visible you are to others. It is rooted in how deeply you are known and loved by God, and his attention toward you never fades. So if today you feel unseen, hold gently to this truth. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. The God who saw Hagar in her distress sees you now, right where you are. And in his eyes, your life, your heart, and your story matter more than you can fully understand. There are seasons when it feels like your presence goes unnoticed. You may be doing your best, giving your time, your care, and your energy, yet it seems as though no one truly sees it. The effort you put in may go unrecognized. Your struggles may remain unspoken, and your heart may begin to feel overlooked. In these moments, it is easy to believe that what you do does not matter, or that who you are is not being valued. This feeling can quietly grow, leaving you discouraged and uncertain. But even when no one else notices, God still knows. He is aware of every small thing you do, every silent sacrifice you make, and every moment you choose to keep going. Nothing in your life is hidden from him. The kindness you show, the patience you hold, and the strength you carry in difficult moments are all seen clearly by God. What may seem invisible to others is never invisible to him. It is important to understand that being unseen by people does not mean you are without worth. The world often places value on what is visible, measurable, or publicly recognized. But God's view is different. He sees the heart. He sees intention, effort, and faithfulness in ways that go far beyond what others can observe. This means that even when you feel overlooked, your life still holds deep meaning and purpose. Sometimes, these quiet seasons are where your character is being shaped the most. When no one is watching, your choices come from a deeper place. Your patience, your kindness, and your perseverance are not for recognition, but for something more lasting. God uses these unseen moments to build something strong and steady within you, something that will remain long after this season has passed. You may still long to be noticed, to be understood, and to be appreciated. That desire is natural, but even in the absence of human recognition, you are not without affirmation. God's awareness of you is constant. His care for you does not depend on whether others see you or not. He knows your name, your story, and every detail of your life. So if today you feel overlooked or forgotten, remind yourself gently, I am still seen, I am still known, I am still valued. Not because of what others say or notice, but because God sees me fully. And in that truth, there is a quiet comfort, one that does not fade, even when everything else feels uncertain. A prayer when you feel invisible. When you feel forgotten, it can become difficult to express what is happening inside your heart. There may be a quiet ache, a sense of being overlooked, or a longing to be noticed and understood. In these moments, prayer does not need to be perfect or complete. It only needs to be honest. God already sees what you are feeling, even the parts you cannot fully explain. You are not speaking into emptiness. You are turning towards someone who already knows. Let us begin gently. Lord, there are moments when I feel unseen. I try to keep going, to do what is right, and to carry what I need to carry. But inside, I feel overlooked. It feels like my efforts go unnoticed and my heart goes unheard. I do not always know how to express this, but you understand. You see what others may not see, and you know what I cannot always say. Father, in these moments, remind me that I am not invisible to you. Help me to rest in the truth that you see my life fully. You see my struggles, my quiet strength, and the effort I continue to give each day. Even when no one else recognizes it, you do. Let that truth bring comfort to my heart. I declare that I am seen by you. Even when I feel forgotten by others, I am not forgotten by you. My life matters, my presence has meaning, and my story is known in your sight. Help me to hold on to this truth when my emotions try to tell me otherwise. Lord, replace the feeling of being overlooked with the assurance of your presence. Fill the empty spaces within me with your peace. When I begin to doubt my worth, gently remind me that I am valued, not because of recognition, but because of your love. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for knowing me. Thank you for staying with me, even in the quiet moments when I feel alone. Amen. You are not forgotten in God's timing. There are moments when feeling forgotten is not just about people, but about time itself. You may feel like you have been waiting too long for change, for answers, for something to finally shift. Others seem to move forward, to be noticed, to receive what they have hoped for, while you remain in the same place. In these seasons, it can feel as though you have been left behind, as if your story has been paused while everything else continues. But being in a season of waiting does not mean you have been forgotten. God's timing is not the same as human timing. What feels slow or delayed to you is not wasted in His hands. Even when nothing seems to be happening on the surface, there is often quiet work taking place beneath it. God is shaping, preparing, and strengthening you in ways that may not yet be visible. It is difficult to remain patient when your heart longs for movement. You may question why things are taking so long, or wonder if your prayers have been heard. But God does not ignore what you bring to Him. Every prayer, every hope, and every longing is known. The silence you may feel is not absence. It is often a space where something deeper is being formed within you. There is also a gentle truth to remember. Your life is not behind. It is unfolding at the pace it needs to. What you see in others is not a measure of where you should be. Your journey is personal, and God is guiding it with care. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, you are still moving forward in ways that matter. Waiting can also reveal something important about your heart. It shows your endurance, your faith, and your willingness to remain, even when things are unclear. These are not small things. They are signs of strength growing within you, quietly and steadily. And while others may not see this process, God does. He values it deeply. There may come a moment when what you have been waiting for begins to appear, even if only in a small way. And when it does, you may look back and realize that this season was not empty. It was shaping you, preparing you, and teaching you how to trust more deeply. Nothing you are going through is without purpose. So if today you feel forgotten because nothing seems to be changing, hold gently to this truth. God has not overlooked you. Your time has not been lost. You are still seen, still known, and still part of a story that is moving forward, even now. God sees the parts you try to hide. There are parts of your life that you may not show to anyone. The quiet struggles, the hidden fears, the thoughts you keep to yourself. These are the places where feeling forgotten can grow the deepest, because no one else sees them. You may smile on the outside, continue with your responsibilities, and appear steady. Yet inside there is a part of you that feels unseen and unheard. It is in these hidden places that God's presence becomes even more meaningful. God does not only see what is visible, He sees what is hidden. He sees the moments when you feel like giving up, but choose to keep going. He sees the thoughts that weigh on your heart late at night. He sees the effort it takes for you to face another day when your energy feels low. Nothing about your inner life is unknown to Him. The parts you try to hide are not overlooked. They are fully seen and fully understood. Sometimes we hide these parts because we are afraid of being misunderstood or judged. We may feel that if others truly knew what we were going through, they would not understand. And while that may be true in some cases, it is not true with God. There is no part of your heart that He turns away from. You do not have to filter your thoughts or hide your emotions when you come to Him. You are safe to be fully known. In fact, it is often in these hidden places that God meets you most deeply. Not in the parts of your life that feel put together, but in the parts that feel fragile and uncertain. When you allow yourself to be honest with Him, even in silence, you create space for His presence to bring comfort and understanding. You do not need to explain everything perfectly. He already knows. There is also a quiet healing that begins when you realize you are fully seen and still fully loved. You may carry things that feel heavy, things you wish were different, or things you do not know how to change. But God's love does not depend on those things being resolved. He sees them, and He stays. He understands them, and He does not turn away. This kind of love brings a deep sense of peace, even in the middle of struggle. You may not always feel this clearly. There may be moments when your emotions tell you that you are alone, or that no one understands. But truth is not always defined by how you feel. The truth is that God is present even in the parts of your life you keep hidden. He is aware of every detail, every thought, and every feeling. So if today you feel unseen in the deepest parts of your heart, remember this. Nothing about you is invisible to God. Not your pain, not your thoughts, not your quiet strength. You are fully known, fully seen, and still deeply loved. And in that truth, there is a gentle comfort, one that reaches even the parts you thought no one could ever see. Even in silence, God is still watching over you. There are moments when not only do you feel unseen, but everything around you feels quiet. Your prayers may feel unanswered, your efforts unnoticed, and your presence unacknowledged. This silence can feel heavy, as if nothing is responding to your need to be seen, heard, or understood. In these moments, it is easy to believe that you have been forgotten not just by people, but even by God. Yet silence does not mean absence. Even when everything feels still, God is still watching over you. God's awareness of you does not depend on how clearly you feel Him. There will be seasons when His presence feels close and comforting, and other times when it feels distant and quiet. But His nearness is not defined by your feelings. It remains constant. Even in silence, He sees you just as clearly as ever. He is not distracted. He is not unaware. He is fully present, even when you cannot sense Him. Silence can also be a place where something deeper is happening. When there are no clear answers, no visible signs, and no immediate changes, your heart is invited into a different kind of trust. It is not the kind that relies on what you can see or feel, but the kind that rests in who God is. This kind of trust grows slowly, often quietly, but it becomes strong and steady over time. It is also important to remember that God's way of working is not always immediate or visible. Just because you do not see change right now does not mean nothing is happening. There may be things unfolding beneath the surface, things that require time, patience, and preparation. You may not understand it fully in this moment, but that does not mean it is without purpose. During these quiet seasons, you may also become more aware of your own thoughts and emotions. Without distractions, what you feel becomes clearer. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also meaningful. It gives you the opportunity to bring those thoughts honestly before God, even if you do not have the words to explain them. He understands what is within you, even in silence. You are not being ignored. You are not being overlooked. Even when everything feels still, you are still seen. God is still watching over you with care and attention. He knows exactly where you are, what you are feeling, and what you need. His timing may not match your expectations, but His presence has not left. So if today feels quiet and you feel unseen within that silence, hold gently to this truth. You are not forgotten. Even now, even here, God sees you clearly. And even in the silence, He is still with you. You are still seen, even when you feel overlooked. There are moments when being overlooked begins to shape how you see yourself. When you are not acknowledged, not appreciated, or not noticed for a long time, it can quietly affect your sense of worth. You may begin to question whether what you do matters, or whether who you are is truly valued. These thoughts do not always come loudly. Sometimes they settle in slowly, forming a quiet doubt that is difficult to shake. But even in these moments, when your own perception begins to change, God's view of you remains steady and unchanged. God does not see you the way the world does. He does not measure your value by how visible you are, how often you are recognized, or how much attention you receive. His understanding of you goes deeper than all of that. He sees your heart, your intentions, your quiet faithfulness, and the strength it takes for you to continue when no one else notices. What feels overlooked by others is fully known and deeply valued by Him. It is important to remember that your worth has never been dependent on human recognition. While it is natural to desire to be seen and appreciated, your identity is not defined by whether others acknowledge you. You are not less valuable because you are less visible. You are not less important because you are not always noticed. Your value is constant, rooted in the fact that you are created, known, and loved by God. There is also a quiet strength in continuing, even when you feel overlooked. Choosing to keep going, to keep giving, and to keep showing up requires a kind of resilience that is not always visible, but is deeply meaningful. God sees that resilience. He sees the effort it takes for you to remain steady, even when you feel unseen, and He honors it in ways that may not always be immediate, but are always real. You may still have moments when the feeling returns, when you wonder if anyone truly sees you or understands what you are going through. That is part of being human. But in those moments, gently remind yourself of what is true. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked by the one who knows you completely. As you continue forward, even in quiet ways, trust that your life carries meaning beyond what is immediately visible. Trust that God is aware of every step you take, every effort you make, and every moment you remain faithful. Nothing is wasted in His sight. So if today you feel overlooked, do not let that feeling define you. Let truth gently replace it. You are seen, fully and completely. You are known in ways that go deeper than recognition, and you are valued in a way that does not change, no matter what others may or may not notice. God remembers you when others do not. There are times when being forgotten feels deeply personal. It is not just that people are busy or distracted, but that your presence seems to fade in the background. You may feel as though others move forward without noticing you, as if your role in their lives has become smaller or less significant. In these moments, the pain is not only about being unseen, but about feeling unremembered. Yet even when others forget, God never does. God's memory of you is not like human memory. It does not fade with time or shift with circumstances. He does not overlook you when life becomes busy or when others take center stage. You are always present in His awareness. Every detail of your life, every moment of your journey is held with care and attention. You are not a passing thought. You are deeply known and continually remembered. It can be difficult to hold on to this truth when your experience feels so different. When people forget to reach out, forget to notice, or forget to include you, it can create a quiet sense of loss. You may begin to feel disconnected or wonder if your place in their lives has changed. These feelings are real and they can be painful, but they do not define your value and they do not change how God sees you. There is something steady and unchanging about being remembered by God. It means that your life is not overlooked, even in its smallest details. The moments that seem insignificant to others are still meaningful to Him. The things you carry quietly, the thoughts you keep to yourself, and the effort you continue to give are all known. Nothing is dismissed or forgotten in His sight. God's remembrance of you also means that your story is still unfolding. You are not left behind or set aside. Even in seasons where you feel forgotten, your life continues to move forward under His care. He is present in every chapter, even the quiet ones. And while others may not always see where you are or what you are going through, God is fully aware. There may come a time when things shift, when people begin to notice again, or when your situation changes in ways you did not expect. But even before that happens, your worth remains constant. It is not dependent on being remembered by others. It is rooted in the fact that you are always remembered by God. So if today you feel forgotten, hold gently to this truth. You are not lost in the crowd. You are not overlooked in the story. You are remembered fully and completely by the one who knows you best. And in that remembrance, there is a quiet assurance that your life still matters, your presence still holds meaning, and your place has never been lost. You have never been outside of God's sight. There may be moments when you look back on your life and wonder where God was. Times when you felt completely alone, when no one seemed to notice your pain, and when your voice felt unheard. In those moments, it can feel as though you were outside of anyone's awareness, left to carry everything by yourself. But even in those memories, even in those quiet and difficult seasons, there is a truth that remains unchanged. You were never outside of God's sight. God's presence is not limited to the moments when you feel strong or supported. He is present in the quiet, in the unnoticed, and even in the painful parts of your story. There has never been a moment in your life where He was not aware of you. Even when you felt invisible, you were still seen. Even when you felt forgotten, you were still known. His awareness of you has been constant, even when your awareness of Him has felt distant. It is natural to question, especially when pain feels overwhelming. You may wonder why certain moments happened the way they did, or why you had to go through them without feeling supported. These questions are part of your journey, and they matter. But even without having all the answers, you can gently hold on to this truth. You were never alone in those moments. God was there, even if you could not feel Him. There is also something meaningful in realizing that your life has been held, even in ways you did not notice at the time. The strength you had to keep going, the ability to endure difficult days, and the quiet resilience you carried did not come from nowhere. You were being sustained, even when it did not feel that way. God's presence often works quietly, supporting you in ways that are not always immediately visible. As you reflect on your journey, you may begin to see small signs of this care. Moments where things could have been worse but were not. Times when you found the strength to continue, even when you thought you could not. These are not coincidences. They are gentle reminders that you have always been seen, always been guided, and always been held. Moving forward, this truth can become a source of comfort. No matter what you face, no matter how unseen you may feel, you are never outside of God's sight. His awareness of you does not come and go. It remains steady, present in every moment of your life. So if today you feel invisible or forgotten, remind yourself gently. There has never been a moment when I was unseen. There has never been a moment when I was unknown. Even in my hardest times, I was still within God's care. And as you carry this truth with you, allow it to bring a quiet reassurance to your heart, one that reminds you that your life has always been seen, always been known, and always been held with love. A final prayer when you feel forgotten. When you have walked through seasons of feeling unseen and overlooked, it leaves a quiet mark on your heart. You may have learned to stay silent, to expect less, or to carry your thoughts alone. But even through those moments, you have continued. You are still here, still breathing, still hoping in small ways. That matters more than you realize. And even now, you are not standing alone. God has been with you through every unseen moment. Let this be your gentle prayer. Lord, there are times when I feel forgotten, times when I feel unseen, unnoticed, and alone in what I carry. But today, I come to you with honesty. You see me fully, even when others do not. You know my heart, my thoughts, and the things I keep hidden. Father, remind me that I am not invisible to you. When I begin to doubt my worth, gently bring me back to the truth that I am known and loved. Help me to rest in your presence, even when I feel overlooked by the world. Let your peace fill the empty spaces within me. Give me the strength to keep going, even when I feel unnoticed. Help me to trust that my life still has meaning and that nothing I go through is wasted in your care. If this prayer has touched your heart, carry it with you today. You are seen, you are known, you are not forgotten. Amen.